Alrighty, everybody. It's time for another wondrous chapter in our stream, and we are here to go ahead and continue playing Oxygen Not Included and hopefully getting going with a little bit of a better base, because with where we were at cycle 160 in Death is Abundant, death was abundant. We weren't producing oxygen effectively, we weren't producing power effectively. We had a lot of issues going on as far as trying to keep all of our systems flowing smoothly, and it just wasn't working very effectively. So what we're gonna go ahead and try and do is start out on a fresh world, and we're gonna see if we can't maybe get something that runs a little bit smoother and a little bit better with the lessons I've learned. And we're also going to try and avoid anyone named Turner, because Turner is a bad man. And we did not like him killing everyone in our previous base. So, with that said, let me go ahead and just boot it on up, and then we'll pick some duplicates. Right. Okay. So we got a small bladder, but a diver's lungs. Good learning, good strength. Noodle-armed caregiver. Narcoleptic night owl, we will send that one on back. Squeamish and uncultured is not terrible, but we'll send him back. Not taking narcoleptic. Loud sleeper I don't care about. Germ resistant is pretty decent, and he's got reasonable stats. Now this guy with noodle arms and caregiver, I don't want him. Great at ranching, nothing else. Bye. Nope, not good enough. Not taking a narcoleptic. You've got terrible stats. No, don't want to deal with that. Yokel can't research. Night owl, no. Afraid of cooking. Diver's lungs. Has some learning, has some strength, likes to research, farm, and ranch. And you got a little splash of creativity, and a little splash of digging, and a lot of strength. I like that high strength, because it means that you can carry a lot, which means that when you're sweeping, stuff gets done. What do we name our colony? Hauhufizjaghovizgoa? No. Not doing that. No. Data mining, because we are looking for all of those holotapes, all the data banks, everything. We need to know. I'm really curious what's going on in this game. There's a lot of information that gets thrown at you for sure, but oh, okay, that's a lot of water. That's a lot of algae, and that's a lot of copper. Huh. Thank you. Thank you for that.
What?
What
did you do?
Blorped.
I did not blorp.
You walked in the room and blorped. Immediately. That was your first action. You walked in here and just blorped.
I didn't blorp. That is not a blorp that I did.
Yeah, it is.
Blorping is not a thing. Women do not blorp.
You blorked.
Nope.
You florped.
Nope.
You florped.
No.
You dorped. It's what she did, guys. It's the truth. She did it. Y'all heard it. Oh, good. Slime biome right there. And there's a hydrogen biome, and we are going to have no cold biomes adjacent to us, so we are going to have fun dealing with that. Alright. Now we want to dig down into this algae, so right over here is where we're going to put outhouse. Can I put another outhouse, please? We're going to triple stack our outhouse this time so we don't possibly have any problems. And we are going to set a wash basin right now. Right now. Meow meow. Meow meow. Meow meow. Meow meow. I don't know what's wrong with you. I know what's wrong with me. I got brain damage. Those are one too high. You only need to come down 2. For a nice barracks setup. Now, what is gonna suck here is that based on this spawn, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Based on this spawn, our dupes are gonna be living next to the trash biome, which sucks. Good, and there's slime lung germs right there. Good. Good, 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 good. So when we dig this out, we're gonna go ahead and dig it like that, and leave this one alone. Uh-huh. Tell me how you really feel.
Fucking Dragon Age, man.
You're not good at Dragon Age?
Not what I said.
Okay.
I said fucking Dragon Age, man. I'm getting caught on everything.
Alright, and in the interest of saving on copper, because I've learned as of last game that metal is very important. You don't want to lose your metal. We're actually going to try for a closed, like, sleeper pod type setup. And based on this setup, we may, possibly, probably not, but may be a little bit more comfortable. Ooh, scrap of paper. Wow!
And I can't fucking get it.
Hey, anger. What's your proof at this? Oh, look, it's a scrap of paper. She really liked that paper. It was a good paper. That was her favorite paper. Don't judge her. No, it's okay. Go ahead. Judge her. Please, do it.
You don't have anyone watching you.
I have one person watching me. Thank you very much. Or wait, are you watching me?
No. You're watching yourself.
Then I have 2 people watching me. Thank you very much.
Oh, a few minutes ago you didn't, because I looked.
Uh-huh. It's not about the number of viewers. It's about the fact that people are enjoying the content. All that matters is that people wanted to see gaming, and I'm bringing that joy into their life. No, but on a serious note, though, so we do have some problems with this spawn. The big one that's bothering me is it does feel like we are in an awfully small starting area. And additionally, maybe that's just because of the size of my monitor and the fact that I'm not used to gaming at super high resolution. I'm used to playing on a terrible little laptop. So that we can look past. The other problem is that we've got all this water here. And I feel that we're going to have to build a giant water tank, like, right here. And drop all this water into it in order to work efficiently. Because we do need to be able to drain this water somewhere. And we need to have access to water fairly early on. But the way that this water is stacked, if we drain it into the naturally occurring structure here, it's all gonna go slime lunged. And we really don't want to slime lung all of our fresh water, because that's all the fresh water we have. Oh. Well, we've got a cool steam vent, so maybe we'll have access to more fresh water down there. And having the cool steam vent right there kind of makes us want to put the water, like, here even more. Yeah. So I think that just about settles it. I think what we're going to do is we're just going to come down right here. And we're just going to make a water tank like that. That's going to be our first project, is giant water tank. We are going to run into a problem with how close that water is and the fact that that is sand. We don't want this water flowing in until we've had a chance to sort of control where it's going to go. Which means that what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to dig like that. In strips across. And then when we layer down our last walkway right here, then we'll be able to go ahead and move forward. Can definitely dig all of that out and set up a ladder right there. Our oxygen pressure is not great. It's not terrible, but it's not great. We do want to go ahead and set up a carbon sink, and there is good oxalite down here that'll keep us going for a little bit. So we'll go ahead and set that up, and we'll priority this a little bit higher. Just so that they'll go ahead and get this done first and release all this super dense oxygen into our base, and that'll flood the carbon dioxide down, and it'll help to pressurize up everything. So we'll have that coming from the top, and we'll have some coming from the bottom, and it'll keep everything sort of flowing a little bit nicer. Okay, so this is in a nice little cup kind of area. And we do have some decent ways to kind of get down into it. This water is basically negligible. Our ration box is blocked off. Let's pop open our metal, our organic, our edible. Alright. And then we want to go ahead and set up our pneumatic doors. So that all of these convert into nice little barracks rooms, just like that. Because that early morale boost is going to go a nice way for the colony. And after that, gets processed on through. We want to go ahead and set up our water collection as quick as possible, because we are going to run into some problems without it. And we do want to set up some farming plots. So in order to set up our farming plots, we're actually going to go ahead and build a secondary ladder, because we don't want to interrupt the back of our base, and we don't actually want to dictate too much what this is going to end up looking like. So we're going to go ahead and tile out the ground on our bathroom area. I wish I'd offset this one more tile. Then I could put a door on it and have a nice little restroom. So we need 1 tile for a planter box, 3 tiles for the crop to grow. So our initial garden is going to need to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We're going to do our initial garden like that. That's a nice 15 by 4 area. And that'll give us enough room that we can go ahead and host up a gardenous setting. But it's not going to be so obtrusive that it causes problems. And then underneath that, let's see, we've got a lot of carbon dioxide, and then there's some oxygen there. So we don't really want to lock ourselves into not being able to go down or up on our base. Going down is going to be a little more tricky because we do have the hydrogen and everything there. So we'd rather build what we're going to build down than build it up and lock ourselves out of that upward area. So what we can go ahead and do is we can actually set up a nice little 4 tall area right there. We can also go ahead and tile this off, and we're gonna dig that out. And then we are gonna set up a research station right here, get our basic power set up, get our basic battery set up, and we're just gonna go ahead and string all that together with a nice wire. And then on the opposite side, we're gonna set up another station. And we are going to put an algae deoxidizer right there on the edge to pump oxygen up. And then we are gonna very intentionally leave the rest of it sort of available for now, so that the rest of it can go ahead and be utilized to make a supercomputer as soon as we get everything set. So we can go ahead and dig down this next layer now. We can dig it down all the way to there. No, that's not the pattern I told it to dig. But we'll go ahead and dig it down like that. And we'll just leave this bottom little row so that our dupes can get on there and walk across it and not end up with some tiles in the middle just left floating. I really hate when those tiles are just floating in there, because that's valuable resources that you just lose. You know, you can't do anything with them anymore. They're gone. And then we want to set up a storage bay we're probably going to be doing a lot of our expeditioning this way initially. We definitely want to get to this cool steam vent relatively early. And I'm not seeing anything else yet that would push me in any other direction. So we're going to go ahead and put our storage kind of over here-ish. And we'll go ahead and connect this down now with our carbon sink area. I mean, there's no reason for us not to, I guess. And we are going to end up with a little bit of water in our carbon sink, but that's not really a big deal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to do 10 by 2, 10 by 2. Dig that out. Storage compactors. Not good for decor, but they will allow us to sweep up all this nonsense in the base and get things kind of more ready. We can't reach this topmost layer, so we're not going to tell them to do it because they'll end up making it jagged and ugly. So we'll just leave that for now, and we'll come back to it when the time is right. As we push farther this way, I'm not really seeing anything good over here, just big pools of gas, and most notably chlorine, which makes me unhappy. I don't like the chlorine. Alright. Go ahead and dig out that sand. And once we get this done and dug, we can actually go ahead and grab a little bit of water off of it by setting a pitcher pump, like right here. And then just digging out just a little recess where that water is going to kind of end up hanging out. Because all this water is going to come fluting on through here once we actually get into the dig of it. And we can actually go ahead and scrape off that top layer. And we can go a little deeper than this. Maybe just do it like that. And set up our pitcher pump like right there. That'd be fine. We are going to have a bunch of this sand come toppling down on it, but we'll deal with that as it comes. So from there, we're just going to kind of let things continue to plod along at their own pace. We don't have any access to the farming yet, so we can't actually begin setting up our planter boxes, anything like that. But we are doing really good on our calories, so we're not super worried about getting our microbe musher. We're not worried about getting anything really intensive built out, because we just don't have the science for it yet. We will get there. But even like our oxygen generation, we're not super worried right now. I mean, it's... Yep, okay, so our Oxalite just finished. So now we are slightly worried, actually. We want to go ahead and just connect that on over. Once we get that built on over, we're good. Now, we are getting the water leaking a little quicker than I would have liked, but the good news here is that they're going to dig it out as the water comes on down. So we are going to end up with it all in this nice little clean pit. And we are going to be able to go ahead and build that ladder down. We do need to get a jobs board before we can dig the rest of the pit out. We need an apprentice miner, which isn't a big deal. We'll be okay. We'll get there. And there we go. That's going to go ahead and bring the rest of the water across and down. You can see it's just lazily dribbling on in. Why do we require med beds? Oh, Ari contracted hypothermia. Not a worrying condition. Really not concerned with that. It just means she's going to work extremely inefficiently for the next few days. And Joshua contracted hypothermia. Okay. Little more worried about it now that 2 of our dupes have it, but again, it's really hard to get super worried about that because hypothermia is not a lethal condition. It's just going to slow them down a lot. So, you know, really hard to feel bad about hypothermia. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at the duplicants available. Maybe there's one that we really like, and we take them now. Let's see, he's got biohazardous. That's not necessarily good. Cooking and kindness, but he's also biohazardous. So he can't research, but he doesn't care about art. But he's also got creativity. He's got athletics and tinkering. We'll go ahead and print a Turner. Swear if you kill anyone, Turner. Our last Turner was a serial killer, man. It was not acceptable. He really caused a lot of problems. It was not pretty. And so you can see kind of the time it takes them to build while they're hypothermiaed. It does take them a little longer. It's not terrible, but it's something you'd like to avoid if possible. And it'll clear up in a day or 2. So oh, now all of them have hypothermia. That is okay. So yeah, you can see it takes them considerably longer to do anything. I mean, you can't really feel too bad about it. It is what it is. It eats away at their stats. They'll recover on their own. They just need a good night's sleep in a warm bed and all of that. And, you know, they just won't be terribly productive for a day or 2. But that's kind of the cost when you're dealing with water. Trying to get things set up properly. You know, What? Oh, I thought you were talking to me. Thought you were talking smack about me just not caring that my people have hypothermia.
No, I just think
Yeah. Well, that's a given.
but it's okay, so am I.
Yeah. Well, you know, we all must bear the sins of our crops or whatever.
Son of a...
We reap the sins that we sow. That's what I was looking for. So how far off are they from their hypothermia passing? Oh, yeah. 0.2 cycles. Don't care. Whatevs. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. We can just go ahead and set a mop on all of that. Clear up the wet tiles. Alright. Now we need that research station online as well. And how far off of your hypothermia are you? 0.5 cycles. Yeah, okay. Okay, you're fine. Alright, and then they'll go ahead and they'll start building out this. Oh no, they're gonna do this first. Okay. And we can go ahead and let them just dig that too now. It's not really a big deal. Because they've already completed what they needed to complete along the baseline. Just getting it all dug out and prepped. And now that the space is ready, we're not really too worried. What really matters with these tanks is just getting everything kind of ready. Once it's ready, then we start to be good to go, as it were. Alright. So now we are starting to worry a little bit about our oxygen. But they're at the point where they're building it out now, so okay, interesting. He suffered spontaneous brain damage. It's an interesting one. And then he just walked over here and fell asleep. But there's no oxygen. None at all. You just... Genius, man. Absolute genius. Alright, so now we got oxygen being produced. That's step one. We got a little setup, just getting rolling. And the fun part comes in that we have to go ahead and sweep out this whole tank. It's the fun part. Anytime you build a giant water tank, always sweep it. Every time. Because all these resources will get lost at the bottom of that water tank, and once there's enough water in there, it's hypothermia every time to go get them, and it just stops being worth it. So, here we are. Sweeping. We're going to go ahead and set up our research too, just to let somebody start working on that basic farming. As long as we got a little bit of motion going towards it, so that we can get our mealwood growing, then we should be semi-sustainable fairly early on, as long as our algae holds out, which we got 23 tons of algae, so, or 12.3, sorry, tons of algae, so it's hard to feel bad about that. And then we've got more up here, some over here. This is lined with little pockets of algae, and it's definitely dense oxygen if we want to break into it. Which we don't, not yet, but when we do, we've definitely got some options to keep the air running for a while, at least. Not too long, but long enough, I think. Oh, that is an automation wire and a weight plate. Huh. So there's something over there. I'd like to go ahead and get to it. And I do like the fact that these are kind of just stacked on top of each other, so I can burrow straight through. Alright, we've now got our compost ready. So go ahead and we'll put a compost down for now. And we'll go ahead and build out a little space for the compost too. And then we'll go ahead and get the ration boxes set up. And we don't really need an algae terrarium, because this is going to keep us more than covered as far as our oxygen production. If it doesn't shut off every night. And we're just going to let them sweep. It's the most important thing. Just get this water tank swept out so we can drop all this water down. And we can kind of start dealing from there. And it's all good, fresh oxygen. There's no carbon dioxide or anything in those big tubes, so we're good. Of course, they're not building it because they can't reach it. So we have to give them a tile. There we go. The other thing that we want to go ahead and research is we want to get our jobs board. The sooner we can get that jobs board up, the excuse me. The sooner we can go ahead and get the miner that we're going to need to finish out this tank. And then we'll just assign everyone else as a gopher and just let them run. Because for the time being, we don't actually need anything else. We don't need to have a research assistant. We don't need to have anyone specialized in anything except run the supplies, get the increased carry capacity. That increased carry capacity will prevent a lot of the double trips. There we go. We've got mealwood now. So we'll be doing okay on food. Should probably seal this off. Just for the time being, we're not using it, so we don't want it open so that our oxygen can all pressurize it. We'd rather just close it off and leave it pressurized really heavily. So when we do need a little burst, we can pop it back open and get through there. New duplicants are available. Oh, well, we ain't taking any new duplicants until we have a farm. Bleh. Alright. So now that's sealed off, we're not going to get any more oxygen flow going into there. So, yeah, it'll just stagnate. Which is fine. We aren't worried at all about it stagnating for now. We don't need to get in there for any reason. We don't have anything to actually worry about. Our jobs board is almost done. Once we get that through, everyone's going to become a gopher. So we'll go ahead and we'll place it right there, leaving a 3-tile space right in the middle for our science machine. We'll get right into advanced research. There's no reason not to. The faster that we can complete research, the faster that we can start establishing systems that will support us more effectively. Because one thing that I've noticed a lot is as you create systems, you become dependent on those systems working. If you create a natural gas generator, then all of the components of that generator running contribute, heavily on your power drain and give small increases in output. So, you need to have your gas pumps, and you need to have filters, and you need to have automation, and you need to have all the plumbing systems and spend all the resources in order to build them and maintain them, and the power, obviously, to run them. And that very quickly becomes a drain if the system isn't supported properly. If you don't have the tools you need to build it right, you're actually going to end up hurting yourself more than helping yourself. So it's definitely important whenever you're trying to build out something like that to make sure that you're prepared fully to get into it. I mean, I hate to say it, but you gotta have a power transformer if you want to build an efficient and effective wiring setup. Want to wire a whole base? Well, you gotta have the ability to keep and maintain that wiring. Man, the yawns are getting to me now, 'cause nothing's happening. We're just sitting here waiting. Facebook. Facebook. Never fail to amuse me while people are sweeping. Friggin' sweep. Alright. And supercomputer. And wire. Alright. So we're starting to get breathable oxygen pumped through efficiently. Just taking time. Lots of time. Lots of effort.
I'm surprised you're still playing Honey.
Why?
I figured you'd try a different game.
Oh, well, it's been a quiet night and a quiet stream. Nobody showed up. Except for, Oz, and a couple people showed up, stayed for a little bit, left, showed back up, left. Tis what it is. Playing this because it's what I enjoy.
Why don't you just Dead by Daylight?
I could. But I want to try and make this base nonsense work. Just the problem is that I've got a dream. I had a dream that I could fly. Na 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 na.
Stand up and look over there.
Oh. Our cat is just being adorable.
Oh, you kitty boy.
Alright, leave him be so he can go back to sleep.
Wait, no,
And oh my god, clean the bed. Put the ranch in the fridge. That's why it keeps going bad. How you just gonna leave the ranch on the bed? Yeah, she is very clearly cat people. I am too, but she is more clearly cat people.
No, I'm animal. I like all soft and fluffies. Hello, baby man.
Alright. So this goes really quick when they can pick up 800 kilograms apiece. Makes it go a lot faster. Of course, our dig guy, not so great. But them being able to pick up real amounts of this stuff definitely makes an impact on how quick it gets done. Alright, and our meal ice is starting to come to fruition now, so we are going to have supplies of food. The water is... oh, chlorine. So it's all extremely dense oxygen. And then one little pocket of chlorine. And a pinch of pepper nut. Noted.
I'm having issues, okay?
Oh my god, just let me do it.
No, I just fixed it. I just got it. It's good.
Because the bed is pushing up on it. If it keeps getting pushed in and out and in and out and in and out, it'll damage the wire and break the fan.
I just had to assault the kitty. Now I'm throwing things at him.
Okay. Sure, whatever makes you happy. Alright. Our oxygen our oxygen production is still really good. Probably because we've got diver's lung peoples. 2, I think, with diver's lungs. So it's probably why it's taking so long for our oxygen to run out. They should be able to pick up all of this right here. Yep. Okay. And they're going to sweep up those muck roots. And once they get those muck roots swept up, we are Gucci. Can you guys... all, please sweep the muck roots. Good. Now, we can build a tile right there. And tile this whole thing in. Boom. Now we're building a water tank. Now we're actually getting this water tank done. So once we get all of these nice new sidewalls built in to double reinforce. Ooh, what? Wow. That reminds me of Andariel. Uh-huh. That's inappropriate or sexual content. I'm gonna have to ask you not to do that.
I said boobs because of her.
Listen, I understand that it's in a video game, but also, Twitch terms and conditions. But no, that reminds me of Andariel from Diablo 2. She's playing Dragon Age, and she just encountered some demon lady that is very scantily clad. So, that's kind of where we're at with that. We can go ahead and open that on up.
Oh, no, I should have bought them.
We can go ahead and dig on over to there. Since they've got barely enough breathable oxygen in there to sustain themselves, it won't really be a big problem. And we should be able to sweep this part of the tank reasonably efficiently. And then we're going to go ahead and drain this in, but I think we'll drain it from here so that we don't create too much stuff falling in. I mean, we could drain it from here. Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure that out when we figure that out. We'll get there. All right. So let's see. How long have we been streaming this one for? Since about 11:08. Oh, that's okay. We can push it for another hour. Keep about a 2-hour episode time. I like the of course, in our clean water tank, right out of the gate, in the clean water tank. Yep. Tried everything in our power. 3 bathrooms. Went through everything we possibly could. Still peed in our water. Peed right in our water. Why are you dumping food all over the bed?
I'm gonna go feed them to my quick next.
Okay. That actually resulted in a triple wide wall on this side, which is okay. It's more than necessary, for sure. You don't need a triple wide wall, but it's hard to feel bad about having the extra layer of protection. It's a decent vein of gold. We still want to get over there, but that's a huge field of hydrogen and chlorine to poke through. And we're gonna go ahead and take another dupe when morning comes. I mean, we're doing okay on food. And we can go ahead and we can actually even set up 1, 2, 3, 1 for the farm tile. And line that up on our grid with that to make for measurements. We can just go ahead and set up an extra farm of mealwood. So we'll have 30 mealwood plants growing. It's hard to feel bad about that. And we'll go ahead and see if we can't take another dupe here. Alright, so she's good at learning. That automatically puts her a little higher on my list. And she wants operate, build, supply. Perfect. It's really good. And she's got creativity for art. Quick learner, grease monkey, doesn't like to do care. Yeah, that's okay. We're taking Nisbet. That's a-okay with me. And Nisbet, guess what job you're gonna get? You get to be that's right, gopher. Because we got a lot of cleaning to do. Gotta get this base cleaned on up. Got to. It's important. All right. And then we need to make for work on research fairly quickly. First things first, let's get our meal prep done. And we're actually going to go ahead and put a pneumatic door right there with a nice tile, so that when we break into this room, we can go ahead and build it out as a great hall, which can be a max of 120. And let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. By 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 170 tiles in a square. And our Great Hall can be a maximum of 120 tiles. So we need to use 50 tiles of this if we were to build it into a Great Hall. So our blueprint for a Great Hall could look something like... 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 9 by 16. It's a little bit better of a ratio. 9 by 16 is 144, so we only have to use 24 tiles of it up in order to make a proper Great Hall. So let's see, if we were to do this, that would be 4 by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Put the ladder going there, that's 14 tiles off, so we'd only have to reduce by 10 tiles. We could shave off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 by moving the wall in 1. Move it in again, and we would shave off enough to make it an effective Great Hall. So we need our wall to go right here. So that's 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that's 4 by 15 becomes 8 by 15 equals 120 exactly for this, and then there's 2 open tiles there. So we have to go 1 more over. Okay. Well, it's not bad though. It still gives us a maximum size Great Hall, which really isn't bad. And then we could arrange sets of mess tables in packs of 4 with art in between them. Put in, you know, some nice decor stuff, all of that, etc., etc. And down here we're gonna make storage for slime and polluted stuff. So we need a door there, dig that out. And what we'll do is we'll put a deoxidizer here, and then we'll line up the back of this room with our storage. We'll do it like that, and we'll have like 3 storage containers for our slime and stuff. Alright, now we're getting our warning that our oxygen production is insufficient. But I think that's because our battery shut off overnight. Yeah, we depressurized a lot. But that's really fine. I don't know how I feel about the closed design to save on the copper for the doors. I don't know how I feel about running that instead of having them be able to transfer between ladders, because it is a lot faster for the dupes if they can transfer between ladders. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to actually break those open. Let them sweep everything up. And then we're just going to put in the pneumatic doors. Like that, because there's no delay on those doors. They're super efficient to walk through. You know, they cause like no stall basically. And see, it lets them move a lot faster than having to go up and down and in and up and down. It just lets them hop right through. So I definitely think that it's a better choice to run. And what are we currently? We're researching meal prep. After that, we need our pressure management. Right there, okay. And then we can get started on building this Great Hall out. And there is no slime touching anywhere other than right there, so once we rip up that slime, we'll be okay. Yeah. Yeah, we'll be okay. We'll have a little bit of polluted oxygen, but That's not a huge deal. And we could even go ahead and make this one a pneumatic door as well, just so that dupes don't have to go all the way to the bottom floor. They can filter in through here to get to their tables. We'll consider that. Food shortage. There shouldn't be a food shortage with this much food growing. Come on, guys. Come on. Like, you gotta admit, it's just a little ridiculous. Alright. So someone's gonna come over here and get on the generator, I believe. Because we have just run out of energy. Yep. And that's holding us pretty nicely on our oxygen. So we are gonna have to figure out something to do about the carbon dioxide. What I think we might try and do is start a pepper plant, mushroom field. Like right here, because we're gonna have the slime right there. So let's go ahead and get right into our pressure management, and then that way we'll be able to go directly for our mushroom farm. We're gonna go ahead and set up our mushroom farm like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18. Yeah, that's fine. Put it down to 17, 16, 15 mushrooms with 7 and 8. Okay. And then we'll have an extension for the ladder going down like that, and then obviously standard tile going through like that, and we can go ahead and just pop all of that open. And what this will do is it'll just let all this carbon dioxide that's sinking down just be efficiently used for growing the mushrooms, and it'll expand out the area a little more, so we've got a bigger carbon dioxide area to sink it into. And we can go ahead and put a cancel there and space these out even one more, so they sit in packs of 4. That's a pretty decent little setup for them. And now let's just get 2 masterpieces, one there, 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 and then have 2 paintings each for above them, and then we still have room that we can slot stuff in. And then obviously we need a ladder like that. Good, so they'll have enough height that they can dig it all out. And the ladder will go all the way down. And that'll just make sure that they can go ahead and handle what they need to handle. That one is going to be the problem tile. This and this are definitely the problem tiles, because they could release a lot of this hydrogen into our base, and we really don't want this hydrogen getting in early on, because it will pool up here at the top, and that'll really inhibit our ability to go ahead and function. So we'll see what happens, but hopefully they go ahead and they build these tiles out quick. Ooh, wow, those are taking a long time to build. Yeah, so we need to set this tile on a priority 9, and then this tile on a priority 9. So when they dig them up, they'll go ahead and replace them as quick as possible. The dense carbon might stop the hydrogen from poking through, but if it doesn't, we're going to run into some problems with that. Oh, yep, they popped them both at the same time. So we got a tiny pocket of hydrogen came through, but that's not that bad. Okay, so about 1,000 grams of hydrogen came through. That's not that bad. They'll be able to make it work. So, yeah, that could have gone a lot worse. And the hydrogen will settle through the carbon dioxide until it eventually finds the gap, and then it'll pop its way up, and then it'll be gone. Basically. I mean, you can see the hydrogen. Where did it go? Oh well. Yeah, see, that one trapped itself right there, and that one is settling its way up. So there's really not much to worry about there, then. Alright. They are still claiming a food shortage, but the amount of food that we've got coming in is absolutely massive. So, I find it hard to believe that there's any sort of food shortage. That's just dupe talk for we're dumb. I mean, alright, so let's plant our one fungal spore and just get it going now. We don't have any slime to feed it yet, but we're gonna get this slime out of here, and that'll give us at least some to start feeding with. And then as needed, we'll go ahead and we'll branch into these biomes and get, you know, the slime out of them. So the other thing is, we'd like to grow some pincha pepper plants. We do need to have a good steady supply of polluted water to feed them, and we need to have some phosphorite to feed them. 1,000 grams a cycle. Oof. Is that better or worse than... That's actually way better. But that polluted water concern is going to get pretty hefty. Air pressure maintenance, not a big deal. They don't care what environment they're in. That body temperature, we're going to want to grow them in a power plant. And they have to be grown upside down, too. Which makes them a little weird to deal with, but if you can grow them next to a coal generator, upside down, then you can make a pretty efficient food off of them. Alright, and they are having trouble down here because this is all carbon dioxide. But we'll get her done. Right, now we can set up the manual airlock in there. We also want to set up storage container, storage container, storage container. And then we also need to get our research done for decontamination. Oof, it's a hefty research tree. That's going to take a while, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Who's our best researcher? Because we would like to go ahead and set somebody to research. So she wants to do it with a learning of 1. He wants to do it with a learning of 4. This will give them +2 to learning. So Lyra, get her learning up. As soon as you master that job, you'll be way better off for it. And we definitely want people to have a high learning if possible. Alright, we can set a bottle emptier right there as well. So we're basically done with our sweep. Basically. Although the sweeping is never truly done. Liara, I want you on that research machine, please. Get on there and get that research done now, right? Alright? You shapeshifted into Burning Man form? Except your Burning Man form is a mouse. Oh. You turn into a skeletal dude on fire. Lich. Nice. And mouse form.
I'll have a golem here.
Where's your party?
He died. Currently having nightmares of the fade.
Alright. So now that this is set up, and we want to set this only to organic, polluted dirt, priority 6. This one, organic, polluted dirt, priority 6. So we want to make sure that they get that stuff in there. Oh, ding dong.
Who dat? Who dat?
Amazon.
Oh. I just almost died and I was so mad.
Alright.
There's a lot of death in this game.
Okay. Take more NyQuil. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. No. 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 Alright, this is still just plugging on away. About to drown out these pinch of the Chapapolis. Papalopolis. There's a pepper plant. That is what I say. And it is okay. It is okay for Papalopolis. Alright. So when we unleash this water, I don't know how well it's gonna fit in this tank. We might overflow a little bit. It's a good question.
Ah!
Yeah? Is that how you feel?
Yeah, I'm frustrated.
Why?
I hate this part of this game. I hate it. The Fate is my least favorite part of this damn game.
I'm sorry.
And I'm trying to blast through it, and I'm making mistakes, and I'm forgetting to save, and I'm getting pissed.
I'm sorry.
Not your fault. I'm just an ape. You done streaming?
No. Ho ho! Stream health. Excellent. Ho ho! Ho ho! Alright. Still waiting on them to finish out this so that I can go ahead and do this. It's the longest, most difficult build I've ever seen because my miner just does not prioritize digging. So let's kick up his priority on dig. Just so that he'll go down there and he'll get it done. Then as soon as we get the mushroom planters done at the base of the base, we can go ahead and dig this out and have our morale boost. That'll make him not so angry to be a miner. And he won't have to, you know, breathe in the wonderful, delicious carbon sink all day. So he'll probably be a little happier because of that, too. And then we'll probably add another dupe, because we definitely have the crops to support another dupe. The question is, so our oxygen drops to insufficient, but the power was off for a good little minute. So I really don't think that we need a whole lot. Can't be too worried about it. Otherwise, the only thing that we really need to worry about is that this carbon dioxide is going to get very problematic down the road. We definitely need to figure out a way that we can control it down. I think what we're going to end up doing is just establishing like a carbon skimmer. But again, that kind of creates problems. So, I don't know. We'll see. Oh, there is an ice biome over here. Okay, so we actually have a good setup that we can build our power array in, and we have a cool steam vent here. This chlorine is going to be a pain to build around, but we don't have to be too worried about it, because what we can do is we can build off of here, going down, and we can just put like an airlock right here, or we can open up this end and build straight down from here to build a power array over here. And then we can also put in our coal generator like right here, and that'll expand our carbon sink a lot. And that'll kind of allow us to filter down the carbon dioxide and not have to worry as much. Because we definitely do need to have a solution lined up. And I think we do want to get the carbon skimmer going, but we don't have the time right now. Hey, it's Photard. Nice to see you, man. How you doing? Haven't seen you in what feels like 2 whole days, I think. I don't know. 2 days, something like that. Oh, sorry, but the stream's on a 20-second delay. The settings auto-updated. And I never changed it back. It was on a 10-second delay, so I apologize if I respond really, really slowly. It's not intentional. Alright. So, now we can just put one of those right there. And then we can go ahead and let them, we can actually let them finish what they're doing over here. And heck, we're gonna just build a ladder all the way. Well, there's no point. It's just a waste of resource. But we can just go ahead and dig this all out now and get started on the whole process of setting it up. Yeah. Yeah, that was that yesterday we had problems with LOL? Was that yesterday I had problems streaming LOL, or was that the day before?
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah. And had problems streaming LOL, and I actually managed to get League to stream properly. I figured out how to do it. It's just needlessly convoluted. Yeah, that's...
Friend! I'm only your friend.
That's actually my fiance who got trolled. Yeah, which is why I was laughing so hard about it. But when you're setting up League, the trick to... Oh, it's...
Oh.
It's okay, man. I don't like her either. But... Oh, the look I'm getting. The look I'm getting.
Get the fuck out.
Oh.
You say that. That was mean.
Oh,
You little
the
shite.
the savagest of all looks. She's so mad. But no, the trick to getting League to set up is you need to have a window capture for your League client on top of your game capture for the League EXE TM client that runs the actual graphics of the game. So I was able to get some recordings done for League, and I did actually upload one of them to YouTube. So if you want to check that out on YouTube, I got it. Yeah, it is bullshit. Yeah, the League is frustrating. The whole concept of streaming League is just absolutely ridiculous. The way that you have to set it up and the problems you have. Ugh. But once you get it set up once, you're good, and it should run through every time, no problem. At least that's what I've seen, but no, I have to buy the second monitor. That's why I don't have two monitor yet, but I am using my laptop to watch my own stream so that I can then read the chat. But once I get a big enough desk that I can actually have a second monitor, then I'm going to buy the second monitor, and then I'm going to run a two monitor setup, and it's going to be amazing. But before I do that too, I actually ended up ordering a video card. I don't know if you heard, but I ordered the MSI 2070 Gaming Z video card. So it's the ultra amazing brand new NVIDIA card.
Because I'm such a wonderful fiance.
Yeah, because my fiance allowed me to spend $600 on it. Yeah, that was all her. Wouldn't have happened without her. And the thing is so big that it's barely going to fit in my case, but
Oh, but you don't like me.
she's being salty. Super salty.
It's okay. I don't need love.
She's so mad. You have no idea how mad we've made her. But it's okay, because
You're mad. I'm not mad.
it's okay, because she knows that I still love her.
But you don't like me.
I don't have to like you to love you.
That's not how this works.
More like that's not how you respond to that.
That's...
True, what rig are you running? What all's just set up, man? Give me the deets, I need them juicy deets. I gotta know, man, I got that... that rig itch. Okay, that was a little extra, but... Oh, no problem, man. No problem, man. Alright, and I'm actually going to set up a second deodorizer. I'm going to go ahead and place it right here where we're getting the most polluted oxygen outflow. So I've got 45 tons of sand. I'm not really worried about running an extra deoxidizer. Asus VS series monitor, Seagate 500 SATA. Nice. And then the solid state. Yeah. GeForce 970 Strixus. That's nice.
Isn't that what we're gonna get me?
Yeah. The Strixus line is the one that you wanted to. Yeah. Oh, you're running Intel? Aww. Yeah, I know some people that are still running the 970. It's not a bad card. That's the thing is, like, it's still a 70, but it's definitely getting antiquated. Like, I know some people that run it, and it definitely works. It's just, earlier I was playing League, and I was outputting on initial boot about 230 FPS, and once I got into team fights, I dropped down to about 150 to 170 consistent. Like, so, and that's on a 1066 gig. 230 FPS on boot, so yeah, that sounds about right with the 970. I mean, they're really good cards. It's just they keep advancing the software so far that it pushes. I mean, the 970 should be great, but they pushed it so far out of the scope of what can even be handled with this software. I mean, if you tried to run on Ultra and stream at the same time, you know, it just wouldn't work. But that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you can turn into a Rockman now.
I can turn into you!
Nice. If you're looking for good video cards, depending on your budget,
I have butt cheeks. This rock has butt cheeks.
yes, it does.
It straight up...
But I definitely recommend the, EVGA 1066 gig. The overclock model is what I'm running right now, and I stream in great quality. Never have any lag, and I use the NVEC encoding, so it's all processed through my video card while recording and running gaming, and I have no problems with any of it. So the 1060, especially I like the EVGA superclocked 1066 gig, is a really good card to run, and I just, like I said, I upgraded to the 2070 by MSI, the Gaming Z, and I'm so excited to see what that one can output, because it's being compared to the 1080s and the 1070 Ti's in terms of gaming quality, plus it's future-proofed in having the ray tracing and the Turing strings as well, so it's going to be totally future-proofed against anything that can come up. I mean, there's not going to be a game it can't handle. Yeah, AMD is way cheaper. AMD is way, way, way cheaper. I got the, I'm running the Ryzen 7 2700X with the stock cooler on it. It doesn't go above 60. It's 8 cores, so it's great for streaming and recording at the same time while gaming, while uploading to YouTube, while everything else. Like, it's insane processor, and stock cooling, it doesn't barely break 60 on a good day. You know, I push this thing, and it was only like $315 after tax. So, but you can get comparable, the Ryzen 5 2600 is reasonably comparable. It's only 6 core, and the clock is a little bit lower. It's a little less apt for overclocking and everything like that, if you really wanted to push your performance. And that one only goes for like 200. So you could definitely go a Ryzen 5 if you wanted to save a little bit of money that way. And you wouldn't, I mean, you wouldn't have a damn problem. But yeah, I don't know. I just built this whole PC setup and started streaming and everything because I got in a car accident not long ago, and we ended up getting a huge insurance settlement and everything.
And my fiance is amazing.
And my fiance is amazing, so she said that I was allowed to go ahead and buy it. So we're going all out on it and buying everything, making the nicest system possible. And then I'm going to build her a CPU over the next couple months, since we have some left over, and we're looking for a place where we can, you know, have a little bit of extra money, so.
But
I only love you mostly. And yeah, the market is going to drop pretty considerably. The one thing I would watch out for is right now we're seeing huge drops on GPUs and RAM because the Bitcoin hype is starting to slow down and die off a little bit more. Yeah, I'm not surprised. With the Bitcoins, like I said, that whole hype has been really messing with graphics cards and RAM, and it's been really messing with the prices. And I'm expecting with Bitcoins and all of that to be slowing down, and with everything sort of shifting out of that focus, that we're going to see a lot more people lowering their prices, and we're going to see a big crash happen. The one thing that I don't think we're going to see a crash on is a lot of developers are talking about the ray tracing and the Turing architecture, and that's why I went in on my MSI card now, because they're selling at MSRP because everyone's so scared to get them, and they're not relevant for a Bitcoin farmer. They're not relevant for anyone like that. They just buy the 1080 Ti. So I grabbed mine up now while it was still at MSRP because, I don't know, I think if it does crash, I think that one's still going to hold well, and if it doesn't hold that well, I won't feel bad about having bought it at the MSRP and seeing it drop to, you know, 450, 500. It's hard to feel bad about that, just for me at least, because it's what I wanted, and I'll have gotten my use out of it before the crash, and when the crash happens, I'll still be getting my use out of it. So I don't know. That's just how I see it, but I think you're probably right. We are going to see some vastly different things starting to occur. We're already seeing a trend show up in it. I mean, there's no way that a 1080 Ti can hold a price tag of, you know, $1,300. That's double the MSRP. You know, they can't... It's not sustainable at all. Okay, so it's really hot down here because of that. So we need to figure out how to lower the temperature down here. We probably can't. I think what's going to end up happening is the Fed is going to raise rates again in December, and we will see deflation followed by hyperinflation. Oh! Oh, good. Well, that makes me even happier that I bought it now, because hyperinflation is bad, and it's going to take a lot of stuff out of the hands of regular people. It's going to be really bad. Hopefully you're not referring to hyperinflation near the levels that we saw in, like, Germany after World War II or anything crazy like that. I mean, hyperinflation, yeah, bad, but that scares me because it can get really bad, like really bad.
I was in mouse form though. Not mouse form, Burning Man. What?
What do you mean, what? Did you died? Talking 1929 type oh, fuck me. Fuck me is the appropriate response to that. Yeah. Fuck me. That would be really bad, and I could see that happening with the way that the American marketplace has been going lately. Ain't nobody cares about the average consumer. And nobody cares about us. Yeah. Yeah. Shit. You're not wrong. That's still a shit thought. But you're not wrong. I mean, that just... Welcome to... Oh, I'm sure it'll... See, the thing is that if the market crashes and nothing is done about it, and it does end up tanking super hard, what's going to end up happening is a lot of major corporations... Yeah. Yeah. Once they come into higher regulation, things will get sorted out. But at the end of the day, that's really what we need, is we need a lot more regulation to keep things in check. And then we need a lot of the megacorps that are pulling money and value out of our economy to just kind of fuck off. I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm the kind of person that I don't like McDonald's. I like the fact that they provide me cheap food, and I'll go there occasionally, but I fucking hate them as a company, because all they do is rip our money away. You know, what do I get from them? So, if we can get a little bit more oversight and a little bit more regulation, and then we can start fucking kicking people out that, you know, need to be kicked out, then I think things will go a lot better long term. I think having a proper, well and true depression hit will go a long, long way. But, you know, we'll see. Oh, no. No, by the scale of cheap food, it's cheap enough to purchase, but it's marked up hundreds of times over. I mean, I studied hospitality management for a long time, and the markup is insane.
The thing that gets me the most about fast food restaurants, what the fluff? No! It's not funny! It's not... I was in my Burning Man form, and it killed me anyway. And it's
You weren't in your Burning Man form. You just ran face first into that fire.
I was in Burning Man form. Burning Man is so you can go through the fires.
It did not look like you were in Burning Man form. It looked like you were in regular form and just ran dead face first into the fire.
I am going to strangle you.
But on an unrelated subject, I am gonna pause the stream here for like 2 seconds. You'll still be connected and everything, Photard, but I just need to go ahead and end my recording because I cut them into nice 2-hour segments for ease of editing. So I'd just like to say to everybody watching on YouTube, I've been Golem, you've been awesome, and I'll see you guys next time. To everybody that's still watching the stream, I'm happy to have you, and let's get right on back in.